I'm joined by Dr. Duncan Carmichael.
It's very difficult for us to swallow the fact that I do not have the right to do whatever I want with my life. And then we think about it. Yes, you can't shoot someone, you can't run down the street naked, etc. There are certain things that we can't do. But when it comes to medical things, it becomes a lot more personal. And there have been many, many instances in the past where people have been coerced and forced, and governments, and then after the Second World War with the Nuremberg Code and then the Helsinki Declaration some years later, that the medical rights, what we put inside our body, should be a whole lot more enshrined. It's not law, it's not legislation that we can't, but a lot of countries uphold that. And it's upheld because as a clinician, we work on trust. When someone comes in to see me, he or she trusts that what I'm going to say is for their best interest. And as soon as we start coercing and forcing, then we lose some of that trust. And it's not just that you've got to buckle up, you're not allowed to drink alcohol. There's a lot more at stake than that. And it's a very difficult question. You know, the good of the herd. So if more, as Adrian Gore was saying in his article for why Discovery is enforcing their employees, that we've had so many hospitalizations that we have a responsibility all to have a vaccine because it's proving to be quite useful, so we can reduce the burden on the state, we can reduce those hospitalizations. But from a clinician's point of view, it's so much more complicated than that, because we do lose a lot of trust when we pull that trigger. You know, South Africa, we've had the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. We have a long history of open discussion, of being able to give an opinion. I think it's so important. And that's what we lose. We lose the discussion, and we lose people feeling free to express their fears. It doesn't matter how ridiculous the fear is. If we can't, that's why a psychologist helps us to be so at ease, so we can express our fears, they can actually come out. It's very important. As soon as we start suppressing things and enforcing things, all of that goes underground. I do have a stance. I mean, I'm against enforced vaccination. There's got to be pretty good reason. And I don't think we have the reasons at the moment. As a vaccinated person, I can still shed viruses. My vaccine that I get is not long-lasting. There's really quite strong limits on it. We're not going to get herd immunity. So the strongest argument for enforced vaccination is to take pressure off the state, pressure off hospitals.